Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Firsties. So I'm super excited for this episode. We do have a familiar face, but no longer a guest. She is a co-host. We have
and Mela.
Mela here. Mila and Mela in the building.
Guys, I'm going to cry. This is surreal. I can't believe this. It's insane.
So we are bringing her on the Firsties family, so you're going to see her a lot. You've already seen her on, so I think you're the most recurring guest. I think
thought it was Ruth, so I'm glad I beat her
saying
before I got here. I thought I said it was Ruth.
You keep on saying that. But we've had her on so many times. I'm like, girl, our conversation, she's also into content creating. So I was like, girl, it's a no-brainer. I'm actually really excited to see where this goes. I feel like this is like a moment in history, low-key.
Right, and I'm glad we're recording this.
Literally. And I'm glad that you guys are coming on this journey with us. So subscribe now so you can be like, we were with them when they had a certain amount of subscribers. I'm just saying, be a real one.
Remember the subscriber count right now.
Yes. So as always, please make sure you follow Firsties Pod everywhere. Make sure you subscribe for more content. And then we're also going to be even more active on Instagram and TikTok now that we're going to do, now that I have Mela here. We're going to be planning trips. We're going to be doing a lot. I'm excited. Thank you for joining us. God, I'm so glad you're here. Seriously.
I'm so excited, girl.
Yeah. Okay, before we get into this episode, I know you guys see the title. Let's just debrief a little bit, right?
Yeah.
How was your week?
Boring.
Okay.
Weekday.
Okay.
Off camera. Anyways. The weekday was boring because I'm just like at work.
Right.
So nothing new happened. But now, you know, like my day starts after Thursday, like after now.
Right. Today is Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, but I anytime I say, oh my God, boring, same old, one of my mentors have said like, boring is good. Like nothing crazy is happening. I'm like, that's true. That's true.
So true, yeah.
So if you want to share with the audience, what kind of work that you do, like what's your day job because of the episode we're gonna get into.
So my day job, I'm temping right now. So I just basically go wherever they assign me, which is perfect because I'm not the employee of the month. I'm not built for that. Like I literally hate working, period.
Got it.
So having to like knowing that I'm only going to be there for a little bit gives me like peace of mind and like security. And this time, okay, I don't want to talk too much about like my actual period, but like
whatever you're comfortable
whenever
with.
It's long, I feel like I'm there to stay and I'm like, I don't like it now. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like I'm ready to go.
But I just basically be temping here and there.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Until this content creation pops off.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
We're funding our content.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah. And we're going to get into that in a second.
Yeah.
My week wasn't too crazy. We talked off camera. She's not caught up on Love Island, which is like insane. We're going to have a debrief in the next episode. But when I say like, did I have an eventful week? I did because I was watching Love Island. Like had nothing to do with me. But just watching it was insane, Hermela. It was,
really?
It's actually wild.
I'm gonna get in my Zoom.
It's actually
y'all
wild.
Didn't listen to me. Every time I told all my friends to start watching Love Island last year. I feel like last year was the blueprint for this. I'm telling you, like last year, it was just crazy. Even like I know first episode they were like, oh, Soul Ties is crazy. It's because they were saying that last year's.
Oh,
like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's so insane. I was literally hooked like this to the TV for last year's.
Yeah.
I do, UK, though.
I do, yeah. Mm-hmm. I do want to say that we're not going to say who because we have not confirmed it yet, but we actually are working on, I told you off camera, on a Love Island, what is it, cast member, USA, to come on sometime, probably in the next couple of months. So that's just a little teaser. We're probably going to make that. Yeah, that's going to be insane.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah, that is going to be insane. Other than that, traveling, you guys might know that I travel a lot for work. So I feel like a lot of times, like, especially some family members, when they hear that I travel for work, they romanticize it. I'm like, it really is the Uber to the hotel, to the meeting, back to the hotel. And then, especially as like, let's just be real, as like a 5'2" black girl in America. Like, I can't just be like, woo-wooing. Like,
but you're not in Virginia. That's all we care about. Do you know what I mean? So you travel for work, and that's still.
I'm in Maryland. They're like, you travel for work. I'm like, babe.
Have you seen the TikTok? Like the pilots?
Yep.
And it was like some weird like spot in like, or I don't know, Miami.
Yeah.
Miami, actually.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. But they always romanticize it. I'm like, guys, it's actually, can get kind of lonely, low key. And I'm always worried about my safety, so there's that.
That's true.
But I actually really do love my day job for many reasons, but one of them is because it funds what we're going to talk about today, which is what we're really passionate about, which is content creating. Now we're going to go over like pros and cons.
Okay.
Before we get into that, what made you start content creating? I know we talked about this in a previous episode with you, But I feel like now it's a little bit different because like you're not a guest anymore. You're
right.
Like,
yeah, it feels different. It feels different.
Yeah.
Like what made me start, or
because I can tell that you really like. Another reason why we've decided to bring Mela on the show is because she mentioned the line that was like, I told Mary, I'm like, oh yeah, she's the one. Is you said something along the lines of like, even if this doesn't pop off or I don't make money from it or I can't make a living from it, like I'd still be doing it. Like that's how much you enjoy it.
It's like a passion thing.
Because if you're in it for money, like, sorry, this isn't gonna work out. It just isn't.
Literally.
Yeah.
And you can tell like from your content too that you're not doing it for passion. You're doing it for money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people. But anyways.
Yeah.
I think I was always in like the artistic side when it comes to. Oh, I thought I said autistic.
See, I love it. You're already getting comfortable. I love
it. So weak, but okay. But when it comes to
artistic,
I had to enunciate. But what's it called? Yeah, like I told you, my mom's a singer and everything. So I was usually like more like inclined to that side. But I had to, opposite my parents. I had to put a mask on, and be like, I want to be a doctor.
Right. I want to be a dentist. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That was a lie I told myself and everyone.
Doctor out of all the occupations, but I feel like it's just like I was always a creative person. So I wanted to show that like in every way. But now like as I got older, it kind of got, into like content creation, makeup, blah, blah, blah. But before I used to sing, I used to be
let's hear a little something.
Absolutely not. Thank you. You knew I was going to say that. I know. Every time. That's why I don't tell people. I'm like, I don't sing. Only my mom does.
That's no. Okay.
Right. But no, I used to sing. I used to be like the choreographer for my school, like dance thingies. Like whenever it's like something like artsy, they always called me in. I was the one that's like teaching the kids and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
So I feel like I was always tapped in with that side.
Okay. So, yeah. Do you remember, because I feel like everyone has this answer. Do you remember like from a creative person, from a kid, like what show, whatever, where you were like, because you had to see it to then be like, oh, this is possible. Like I was a Disney Channel kid through and through. Like that's so Raven like changed my life. The outfits, the fits, how comical shows with her body. I've just never seen like a black woman on like that. No, that was like a life changing thing. You know what I mean?
I loved iCarly. No wonder I'm vlogging, honestly, because
you're literally iCarly.
Yeah, that was like I had an iCarly backpack, pencil pouch, everything. I was everything. You're like an iCarly girl. That's it.
Did you resonate more with Carly or Sam?
I liked Sam because of like her sarcastic humor, right? Oh yeah. But yeah, I liked Sam more. But I loved like the whole show.
Okay, that's so because you are iCarly.
Now we're vlogging.
I saw someone be like, Kaisen now is just iCarly with dreads.
No, he really is. That whole streaming that's iCarly.
That's gonna be the next phase of Firsties, low key, babes.
Streaming, please.
Like
you're gonna get me caught up. Like I can't do nothing live. It has to be.
Yeah, we get final edit. Yeah, we were just talking about our editing schedule and stuff. Like, yeah, we have to get final edit, absolutely. Okay, so we can get into the confession. I was almost thinking like confessions of an unpaid content creator, because like let's really tell it what it is, honestly.
Like keep it real, exactly.
Yeah. Should we start with pros or cons? Actually, I have a list here.
I think we should start with cons and then end it off with pros.
Okay.
On a lighter note.
Okay. So for me, my first one, we'll just go back and forth. So kind of like, we really do want to kind of like tell you guys the reality of, because again, like something that I find exciting is that an audience is like growing with us the way that like we grew with like the whatever
people you were sharp to before they
and I'm like, dang, I knew him at 200K subscribers, now he's at 20 million, whatever the case is. And so I think it's awesome that we kind of like let them into our little our world. The first one for me is just motivation. Like,
wait, are we talking about cons or pros?
We're talking about cons. So what I mean by cons is like the self-doubt creeps in, the imposter syndrome creeps in. So like I'll be in freaking Tampa, Florida, editing a episode in the hotel, and I just be like sometimes like, but why am I doing this? Or like, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Because your ego creeps in, if I'm honest. Yeah. And we know how hard we work to get one episode out, guys. The editing, the clips, like it is work.
Right.
Is it hard work like some other jobs that are very impressive? Probably not. I don't want it, content creating, like I want this job because I want to have fun with my life. That's really you know what I mean? So like I do want to be.
There's still a lot that like I get the whole like in comparison.
Correct. Because I don't want to sound crazy.
But people who are paid get to say that. Do you know what I mean? Because right now, there's more like sacrifice. You're sacrificing a lot more. If you're getting deals, I'm going to France, south of France, and chilling. Maybe I can't say like content creation is so hard because I'm reaping the benefit of it.
Oh yeah, I mean? And on top of that, those higher ups also they have a team.
Exactly, they
like,
have editors.
Imagine the time, and I'm speaking this into the universe, where all we have to do is sit here and be the talent. Lighting, camera, editing, everything is taken care of, and we trust them, our team. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like I can't wait to get to that point.
Guys, if y'all see the setup, even this, it just takes a lot more work.
I mean, it does. Even coordinating our schedule, like it can be a lot, especially with we have personal lives, we have families, we have a job, main jobs. You know what I mean? So, the first thing I want to say was just motivation, like just motivating myself because nobody's gonna want it more than I do. Exactly. And it's gonna take a while for people to like really fuck with what we're doing, which is okay. Yeah. And I do want something that Benyam told me is like, you do want a slow burn. You want people to like, because then they're going to be loyal. You don't want to actually like pop off over the night because the way how quickly they follow you is the quick way they hate you. Type of exactly. Yeah. So what's your first con?
Okay. See, it kind of piggybacks off that, but for me, it's burnout. I experience a lot of burnout when it comes to content creation. I think it's because I batch create. Like, usually I do like makeup videos, recreation, and when I'm doing that, it's usually like at night. So I do it like 10 p.m. or like 12 a.m. So whenever I do that, it just takes a lot of my time because I have to like plan out like how I want the video to come out, and then editing, it just gets so tiring because it's just you doing it.
It's just you.
Yeah, so I really experience
so glad you're here, Mela. I'm so glad you're here. Seriously.
This is the pro, actually, because like, you know, when you're not around like creative people, or when you're not around with people with like the same goals as you, they're like, obviously like we have like supportive friends, thank God for that.
Yes, we do.
But outside of that, still, it's like you like would want someone to be like, oh, like I get it, actually. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, or like when she does like we like edit at like coffee shops and stuff, and like when you do a quick edit and then I see it, I'm like, we just hype each other up.
Exactly.
Like, that's a good, or do it this way or whatever. Right. Like, so I'm excited that like we have each other because we do have very supportive friends. But if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay. My next one is, honestly, this is gonna sound funny, but feeling silly sometimes to like press record and then like we essentially are having our own reality show. Like essentially, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And putting it on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like that can feel a little silly because again, it is like imagine it as far as explaining to like our Hobby Shop parents. So you're telling me you're gonna press record on this camera, record yourself, edit it, and then submit it onto a platform for strangers to consume. Like, it actually is kind of strange. We just normalize it because that's kind of what everyone's doing now. But I would say like feeling silly. I think you do really good at it, which is why I'm so glad I partnered with you, because like I'm still on like bringing a camera up in public and being like, hey guys, we're here. I'm still working on that, if I'm honest.
I had to force myself to, for a whole week, I was walking around with my vlog camera. I wasn't even vlogging, but I was walking around holding it so I can feel like, all right, people already seen me.
Okay, gotcha.
So what are you going to do at it? Let me actually vlog at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to get myself to get used to it, because every time, if you've seen like my college vlogs, it's usually in my room, because like I wasn't comfortable enough to vlog outside yet.
Gotcha.
And stuff. Okay. So you literally have to just like, this camera, I mean, I feel like everyone does it with their phone. You don't really have to be like a vlogger.
But imagine taking one of these cameras out.
Full-blown camera, you don't get it. That's actually like, how, like, it's so embarrassing if you really think about it, but you have to do it.
But then it's like, imagine it being like, okay, but they don't know that I'm paying my rent with this video.
Exactly.
So because I feel silly maybe at the moment right now, because we're still growing. We're very young, a very young company. But imagine when we have 2 million subscribers, and I know I'm going to get 100 million from this video. You think I care about your...
No wonder that guy, remember the Target video when they were like, he was propping his phone, walking into Target.
Oh yeah, and Drake did like a
yeah. No wonder you're getting paid off that shit. So like, obviously you're like, you have that security. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm even going through this now. Like, it's amazing how much you don't care about people's opinion, especially when they don't pay your bills. Like, if I'm honest, you know what I mean? Like, this is paying my bills, not that eventually. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and imagine if someone actually did say something like, you're the weirdo.
Yeah,
like, why do you care so much? I'm not bothering you. You're not in the video.
Yeah, no one cares.
You know whose confidence I really want? Tube Girl.
Who's that?
Tube Girl, the girl who's in the train, and then the air from the train, and she's literally like, it's a filled train, and she's doing like.
Really?
She has Naomi Campbell.
I see Naomi Campbell.
She's on fashion shows.
Oh, I didn't know she was like Tube Girl. Like, I didn't know that was her thing.
like the confidence you have to have, and then like people take video of her without the sound, because obviously with the sound it gives it its umph, and you just see her like, imagine right now she's like, it's dead silent, she's like, and it looks kind of awkward, but she's getting a band from that, and she's traveling the world.
That's so insane.
So
yeah, you know whose confidence I'd want? Who? Ray Monte's. Ray Monte don't care about nothing.
No, not one thing.
Where's the outfit? You look good. Like talking to strangers. Like he actually got that. Like he's so confident.
But that comes with this practice. It does.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and delusion. Like you just really don't care what people think.
It's delulu until it's true.
Absolutely.
It's delulu until it's genius. I promise you, it really is.
Until it's a genius, literally.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next con?
Let me get my phone. Getting discouraged by the numbers. I feel like
that's a big part. Go ahead.
That's like, I like. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the pros of it, but I feel like when you like, especially put in like a lot of work, and then you post it, and then nothing. You know, like you're not getting any response. Or when I get, actually, you know what's even worse? When I get like, when videos like go viral, whatever, with things that I just filmed in 5 seconds, instead of things that I planned
for hours, guys, hours.
Like everything. Imagine like all that, and then little like a lip sync video is getting more engagement. Kind of,
especially when you're doing your makeup and your hair, and it's like it's a whole thing, guys. And you're so talented.
And it's please, thank you.
Yeah, really.
But it just I don't know. It's kind of discouraging a little bit, but then you just kind of like.
That's what I'm saying.
Shake it off.
The ego, yeah, because it's like they don't know I spent 10 hours on this.
Exactly.
But then I'm realizing like I take it from an example from. It's so funny because both of our moms are entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So like before my mom got to where she was the one who was cleaning the bathrooms and doing cashier and customer service and whatever. Yeah. And then she taught people, hired them, and she was able to lay back. Exactly. But she could always revert back. If all these people quit today, she could go back to, she knows how to clean the bathroom. She knows how to set the shelf. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think that's what we're learning now is like, imagine like, I'm going to just speak, right? In a year, we're in a completely different position, right? And we have a team. The team's flying in. There's weather, it gets canceled. Well, we're not going to have a show? No. We know how to set up mics.
Exactly.
We know
how to do humble beginning, so like it keeps you humble, and also makes you like realize like where you're starting from. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I feel like we're just right now we're in the era of like perfecting our craft. Like I'm not perfect. I'm still learning.
Nothing's done.
Yeah. But it can be discouraging.
It's so discouraging.
So when you're like, this is gonna eat, it doesn't.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
And then just like 2 likes, 3. I'm like,
And it's you and Miriam who's liking this stuff. Like it's like
it's Miriam and Ruth. That's it. But that's insane.
Yeah. Okay. The next one I think we both are gonna agree on is can't control how people perceive you. We can't control how this content is being consumed or how, like, even from our, just before you came, I was looking at our comments and someone said like, just anybody's good. So now anybody can have a podcast. And I was like,
who said that?
This is just a random man.
Of course it's a man. Okay. I knew it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, but I don't know what he didn't, obviously it's a 10-second clip he saw, whatever. It didn't hurt my feelings. I was just like you can't. He doesn't know my intentions. He doesn't know what we're trying to do with the show. He doesn't even know what the show's about. Exactly. But you can't control how people perceive you. What do you think?
Yeah, that's just, I just feel like, in my head, I told you my coping mechanism, they're all bots for me.
And I'm going to apply that to my life, honestly. Like, not real.
Every time, you're not real.
Never will be real. Yep.
Exactly. I feel like I had, like, I didn't struggle as much because my content is, like, directed strictly for the girls. Because why are you watching How to Get Bright Under Eye? Really, if you're a man. Do you know what I mean? So it's just the girls there. So like they can be harsh sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
But at least like on TikTok, I usually didn't get like that much like negative, like, you know, like hate or whatever. So
yeah.
I'm fine by it. But like perception where like I don't want people to think this is my personality or they think I'm like this when I'm really not. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to like talking videos, I think it's only the YouTube short that really made an
gotcha. Okay.
That I got like negative.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Feedbacks on it, but it was like you don't make sense. Even there, like the reason why they're hating didn't make sense.
It never does. Just like it never makes sense.
So, yeah, but there's always a fear of perception though.
It is, and on top of that, just to like even go deep into that, people are going to perceive us, and I can only speak for myself. It's like if a guy was interested in me, he literally just would have to subscribe, look at video, he could figure me out. So on that first date, he knows more than.
That's my absolute.
And I'm not going into detail about like this how you should treat. I've never gone into detail about that, but just if you have a brain and you just listen.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I don't get that chance with him.
Yeah. Do you feel it's like it's gonna be easy for guys to manipulate you because like our life is literally like on.
I fear that actually. Me too. I actually do because here's the thing is someone actually told me I was like, well, no, they're not a public figure. And then it's like, what do you mean, Mila? Social media, everybody's a public figure now. Instagram, you're a public figure if your shit is public. But it was actually my mentor. And he said, I mean, yeah, with your podcast now, are you a celebrity? No, but you're a public figure and people can't. He's like, I've searched Firsties podcast, your face pops up. So now, not under Mila, but under Firsties pod, you are, you too, you are Googleable almost. So, and he's like, how do you feel? I was like, I don't. Because, like, I dream of the day that I meet someone and I marry them. But then, of course, it's like, it's going to, if this is too much for someone or it turns them away, then I've turned away the right people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person.
And your future person would definitely want to support this and understands it too.
There's
never going to be a clash with, like, your work or your passion and everything. Yeah,
it's just crazy and a little bit uncomfortable. That's like, all you have to do is watch 40 episodes.
It's when it comes yapping. To your takes and you can agree. Do you know what I mean? Let me tell you, like, my
please share with
the class. Like long time ago, like when I was like dating this boy. Yeah, it was like whatever I liked, he liked, and I didn't peep it until like months in. So I'll say like, oh, I love pink. He's like, really, bro? Like, we're literally twins. Me too.
I can't
every single time, but I didn't. The male pick me. Literally, but I didn't realize it until like deep in the relationship, and I was like, pause. And then I started putting like little like quizzes, I guess, or like tricks. I'm like,
I like caterpillars.
I like Vampire Diaries. And he was like, really? Me too. And I was like, oh wait, did I see Vampire Diaries? I meant this. And then I just.
And then what do you say?
And he'd be like, oh, I still like Vampire Diaries. He can't change it. He gotta say like he still likes Vampire Diaries. But I'm like, shit like that used to scare me because I'm like, you are just like agreeing with what I'm saying. But now it's so easy for people to do that because we literally talk about what we like, what we don't like, our icks, our.
And here's the thing, guys, just something maybe you could agree. The moment we post or I post these episodes, I don't recall anything I said, if I'm honest.
I don't remember.
So, you know how many, who was it? Oh my God, I was at a work event. Insane. I work with a lot of sales guys, right? And they came up and said like, MBA contract marriages, am I right? Which is a kind of a viral clip that's going on our Instagram. And I was like, this is my fault, but I did not think he was a demographic, if I'm honest. Yeah. I was like, I did not know you. Maybe he was just watching because he knows me, just supporting me, which is nice. But it literally threw me off. I think because I was in work mode, like, I'm not, this is different, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was just being professional or whatever. And I was like, what? I was like, and then I was like, wait, what did I say on that episode? like catching myself, like watching it later, like, did I say anything? Like, and I never say anything crazy, but you just don't recall in the moment when we're going back and forth.
And in my head, when I make content, I'm making content for people in Thailand, people that I'm never gonna cross paths with because like that's the only thing that like keeps me sane. Do you know what I mean? Like actually, like someone in Thailand, Philippines, y'all are watching me, not people.
Hey Buki, yeah.
And when I was working, I was a host in like Old Town, like in Mia's. Yeah. And maybe I shouldn't have dropped the logo, but I don't work there anymore. But I was a host there, and my mom's friend, like distant friend, I haven't even seen her like in so long. She came and she was like, "Hey, how are you?" Did I say? By the way, I love your content. I watch all your vlogs. And she said it as a compliment. And I'm like terrified because I didn't think like my mom's friend would be watching my vlog. Because they're not
part of it.
And I'm not like filtered or whatever, like cussing, or like my opinions. And especially when it's like with me, Ruth and Miriam, we just talk about like whatever. And I'm like,
I love those videos. So but you guys do talk.
Exactly. Even our relationship videos, that might get.
In the car?
In the car?
Yeah. I've watched it 3 times.
We just like are you're so comfortable with your friends. So just like you forget the camera's there. And I'm literally like, okay, so she watched that and this. It just gets to you. Like so I have to tell myself like it's people in Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only way you could do it, love. We have to care about our intention stuff, but we can't care about like like we can.
Exactly.
We're not gonna What's your next one?
Cons?
Yeah, I'm done with my cons.
I'm trying to see.
That's all I could think of.
Yeah. The other con is, I mean, I guess talking about us working, it's the restrictions. Because you can't really, let's say if you wanted to like fly somewhere and vlog and do a travel vlog, like you still have to fund this part because it's not paid yet. Yeah. So that's the con about it. Like I have to go to work so I can do what I like. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
exactly.
That's my other con.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny is that in the last episode that was out, someone asked like, how can I show that to my parents that YouTube is a legit career? And I basically said like, make it a legit career, which means, because everyone's like, situation is different. I don't want people to be like, let me just move to LA. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
But we're working overtime. Guys, I'm talking about like, I don't go to family dinners because I have to edit something that has to come out the next day because it's like an hour episode. Yeah. Like it's actual sacrifice. Like I'd rather be getting dinner with the girls or whatever, but I have to edit this. Remember like from my traveling schedule and yours as well, and you have priorities as well. Like we had to reschedule a couple of times and stuff and like make it work.
Exactly.
And it's work and it's already rewarding because I honestly just love, like I love being in the seat. I love doing this. Like I really do. That's the thing I wish a lot of people couldn't understand is that in order to go for your dreams, you really, in the early stages, you really have to like love it. And I think that the 1% of the world who's achieved it, they always say like, you have to be obsessed because it makes no other sense for what money, materials, things, attention, fame. It does not make sense for that.
It's literally the same thing as like people who pursue med school without, for the money, you're never going to actually go through it. And you're never going to be a doctor if you're just only in it for the money.
That is such a good
because it's literally the same. You have to love it. I have to love helping people, saving people, to go through financial debt, go through 12 years of like education. That's a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't love it that much, but even for content creation, you have to love it because like there's gonna be a long time where you don't you don't see the benefit. Do you know what I mean?
Because I was just thinking how like when people say, because we have a lot of, because we're Hopper Shaw, we have a lot of medical professionals in our family and stuff, but how like we just deem that as like a very impressive role. But then I just had a aha moment just now where I'm like, oh no, the reason why I find it impressive because I know how hard you have to. I saw my sister struggle through clinical and whatever, and she made it. I've seen my cousins who are now surgeons. The amount of school, the amount of debt, the amount of the 80-hour weeks you have to unpaid.
You have to have a this or
not
nothing
sleeping
mindset.
For 48 hours, standing for 36 hours in surgery. Like it's actually someone's life's on the line. You know what I mean?
That's
so
what I'm saying.
The only thing that's logical is that you love it. Like
even for them, their passion is worth more than like their mental stability. Because Lord knows, being a nurse and a doctor is just like that's even more like you're losing much more, I guess. But you just you love it that much.
Yeah.
But it has to be the same thing with content creation. It's not the clout, not nothing. You just love your craft that much. I can't. You know what I mean?
You know what I always one of my mentors said that usually when you can't explain it, it comes from God. Usually when you can't explain it, it's like I can't explain why I have the desire to do it. And I just to be honest, I also have the talent for it. I was just born this way. Right. And then I perfected my craft, same with you. And that's what gets me excited. That's what my mom tells me all the time. Like
we were literally talking about this last week. Because the reason we feel so deeply about it that it has to mean that our future self has it. There's just no way I feel this much about it. The simple
proof that we have the desire for it means that it exists.
Exactly.
This is so beautiful. It's
very
like
beautiful.
Therapy.
I love this. This is really like therapy. I have one more comment before we...
please.
I have to set this
look at her getting comfortable.
I've been comfortable this way. But the biggest con was, what's it called? Figuring out what brand is like fake and real. And you don't understand. I went through hell and back. Like these collabs. So now like I feel like I've gotten like the gist of it or whatever. And thank God there's some third party whatever that connects you to brands. So I'm like, okay, now like when it's coming through them, it's legit. But when they usually email me, you really have to like do your research or whatever, try to find out. Recently with I was like out for my friend's birthday dinner and lunch or whatever, and I see Fenty Beauty, imagine. And I dream of collabing with Fenty. It's going to happen one day. I know it too. But I was like, it says Fenty Beauty, collab, da-da-da. I've never seen a well-put, well-written scam ever in my entire life. You don't understand.
My dating life. Just
I literally was like, I was reading it, and I'm like, I'm at her birthday dinner, so I'm like, I'm not trying to make like, a scene or whatever. So I'm like, I'm just so excited. But I'm like, fuck. Like, we went to the bathroom. I read it. Ruth read it. Miriam read it. Like, we all read the thingy, and we still didn't catch like the scam part of it, or even like the
typos
email,
or anything like that. Yeah.
So I believed it. I was like, oh my God, I believe in it. It was like, yeah, like you're gonna get paid, you're gonna be this. I'm like, perfect. So I sent them the items that I would want to receive, because they usually they ask you like what you want, blah, blah.
So it still looks legit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, da, da, da. And then right in the end, they email me. This is like 3 days later, by the way. So I've had 3 days of joy,
excitement.
Like I was just like over the top,
Yeah.
like over the moon. And they go, what's it called? Okay, perfect. Like we're gonna send you this. You only have to pay the shipping fee. Do you think Rihanna can't afford the shipping fee? Like,
you think Bad Girl Riri can't pay that?
You think Bad Girl Riri can't give me this thing for free? And I had like one of my friends, she's also a content creator, and she's like, you know, like now she blew up and everything. So I called her and I'm like, hey, like I'm so confused. Like, is this like
legit? Yeah.
Is legit? And she's had a Fenty deal before. So I was like, did they ever ask you for a shipping? She was like, no, they didn't. Da, da, da. And then we went back, and I looked at it, and then what did I miss? I think it was like the email. There's like a dot or something that I missed. Well,
it'll happen.
That's for sure.
It'll happen. It will happen. I'm glad that you caught it, because that's how people get like caught up.
But it's those type of things. It's so discouraging. I'm like, I was so happy because it's like Fenty, and then turns out it's not. But
I'm getting a lot of like Asian product, or and when I look at it, there's so many typos. The email does not look legit. There's no like website, there's no like info at or whatever, so I'm like, it's not true, legit. You know what I mean? And also they're like, one emailed me, was like, hi Mila, we love your content, we love your family channel. I was like, oh babes, you don't know who, like,
you
family channel,
to take that part out.
Yeah, I was like, babes, it's not, but that can be discouraging. It can be discouraging for sure.
And then they be asking a lot too. They're like, a makeup video, wig installed, this for free. Are you what do I look like? I know I'm doing it for free, but I'm not doing it for free for you. What do I look like?
They're
so insane.
Yeah. I'd rather do free for me than free for you. You know what I mean? Like, just for my content. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so are we done with cons?
Yeah, let's get to the pros now.
Okay, so I think we should take a little bit of break. We'll be back after these short messages, guys. All right, guys, we are back. So let's jump into what we did the cons, now we're doing the pros. Okay. I started first, so you can do this. You can start first if you want.
Did you start earlier? I'll start.
Yeah.
For the pros. The pro is, for me, it's a visual diary. Like, when I'm old, I can tell my kids, like, oh, look at mommy when she was 23. And it's right there. Do you know what I mean?
I look at your vlogs, babes.
Really?
And I really, because just context, her college roommate is my cousin, who's one of the closest people to me. So just seeing Miriam up there as well, and Ruth, my other cousin as well. Like, I really enjoy. Like, I always say, like, I wish I had that. Like, I wish I filmed. Yeah, because my memory fails me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Until you have photos, but videos, it's just even you could archive it or just like private it if you want to, but it's still there. Which
even now, like, college days is like nostalgic to me, and like going back to see it, I'm like, oh my God, like, our grad day, prepping for grad, and I love, like, even my friends' grads. I watch my friends' grad vlogs more than mine, because I just, like, I love, like, you know, the celebration, all the friends, and I'm like, oh, this is so cute.
It's good. It's good feels. It is. Yeah.
I just like that. Like, there's something that I can go back and like look at. Do you know what I mean?
My first one is similar to yours. It's just making my life a movie. Like, I just one of my dreams to be an actress and also be in film and stuff. So it's like, if I could just see myself on screen.
I didn't know that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I went to LA couple years ago for like a couple of auditions and stuff, and you know what's so funny is I think I could do it now. At that time, my confidence was at where I needed to be, because you do the audition and they talk to you as if they talk about you as if you're not in the room. So like, I will never forget.
So cutthroat.
And you're auditioning in front of your other competition, like it's just one ballroom because their budget or whatever, so you're in a hotel room, like, you know, and like they're talking about one of the girls like kneecaps. And so I'm like, so you just gave her insecurity.
But why are they even talking about
it was
acting. It's not even modeling.
It was insane.
That's crazy.
It was actually insane.
Would you like do it now? Like, are you like pursuing it?
No, I'm not doing it now, but I would love to. I need to get back into it. Yeah. It's just like, it's similar to like when we were talking about like the fake like scams as far as like paid content or it's like I need a man. Like, it's tough to. I would love an agent or a manager to like just deal with it. I also don't want, when I did it a couple years ago, I got typecast as like, I was a little bit I was too young to understand this, that I wasn't comfortable, but I was like overly sexualized. And like, girl, we're habasha. Like, you know, every role that I was getting, I was like, I can't do that. I don't want to also, but like, I'm not doing that. And once I start, I can't stop. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm introduced into the world. It wasn't anything like crazy. But I was like, I can't be doing that. I'm just trying to do a commercial.
Exactly.
One of my like dreams is doing a Super Bowl commercial. Like, let me get that bag. Yeah.
You'll get it.
A cute, like 5 seconds.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Like, amen. Okay. The next one I wanted to do was kind of honestly similar, but creating opportunities, meaning like the fact that we just don't know where this camera is going to take us, meaning like, okay, we have to shoot content. Let's say this weekend we're like, all right, babes, let's go down to Georgetown or wherever and let's shoot. You don't know who we're going to meet then. We'd only be there because we have to get content. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then like the people I've met on this couch, I was literally about to say that too. I never thought these people would, I thought I was going to do my own show, really, for the most part. Right. And then just guest ones come on. And it's always like, I had Benny on, and then Mr. Michael saw Benny on, and he was like, hey, I'd love to be, like the guest audience.
It's like a domino effect. Like, someone just tells the other and everything.
And what do I always tell Mariam? We just need our funny Marco. Yeah. To then get the Drake, and we'll be. Literally. Right?
Up there.
Yeah. So the guests are getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Yeah. So I'm like, in what world would I, like, one of the things, like, I actually want to shout out the pastor that I had on. After we were done shooting, we just sat here and spoke about like the Bible and faith and stuff and just life. And I just told him, I was like, it's just, the podcast is just so cool. Cause like, in what world would I essentially invite, I wasn't alone, but essentially invite a stranger into my home, right, to sit on this couch and talk to me. But in the context of content creating, it's like safe. Does that make sense? Yeah.
How'd you like, cause was Miriam always there, or was it just you?
Not always. Yeah. Sometimes my mom would be here and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Even like, I'm horrible at like small talks. So how did you like bring them here and then you're talking to them for like hours? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a good point, because they're new, so you're meeting them. Yeah. When you're meeting them. I mean, you're texting here and there. You know, I will say that my actual day job lends itself. It's all sales. So it's all communications. You're like, what's it called? Transferring your skills from there.
Yeah. Okay. And then also we're habasha, so we just know how to make people feel comfortable. We're like, oh my God, please don't take off your shoes. Would you like some water? You want something to eat? I've had a handful of people, which I was shocked, Mela. Yeah. I'll tell you off camera who, that would have popped on camera, needed 20 minutes to like calm down, like had a panic attack on this couch, which is totally fine. Yeah. But when they walked in, they're like, oh, I didn't know you had 3 camera shots. This is
very official. So like,
and
I can
like lights and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, we could hang out for 20 minutes if you want. He's like, yeah, can we do that? Another guy was like, yeah, can we just wait? I'm just a little nervous. I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. Like, no worries at all. Yeah. My mom says, she's like, it doesn't also help that like they're walking into like, there was one that was like, Ruth was here, Mariam was here, and then me, and it was like, imagine just 3 gorgeous girls, and he's just like, you know, like, was it could be a lot.
Yeah, we're too bad for them. To decrease the badness, so he can be comfy.
And usually, I think a handful of times they bring a friend, but for the most part, they roll up alone, which I prefer, because I don't need like 20,000 people in here,
especially if you're alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but which is why I'm so actually happy that you're here, because now I don't have to be. Because sometimes I have to reschedule if like Mariam can't come or my mom can't come, because I'm not going to be like, essentially I'm inviting a stranger into my home. I didn't think that through when I first started. Yeah, and I've never had any issues, but you have to be safe.
Of course. Yeah.
And what's also nice is that across the way, my brother's friends live there, and they're my friends too. So like, literally sometimes I would be like, hey, just, I'm going to keep the door unlocked. Like, I'm having a guest come over. Nothing weird, but just want to make sure that like we're safe and stuff. Yeah. But you'll see like, you have to be able to make them comfortable, because they're doing us a service of, they don't have to come on the show. Right. So make sure like, hey, you comfortable? They get editing, like control. we're not Wendy Williams. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get you. So if you want to cut some stuff out, we can. Yeah. I'm so excited for us to do like a guest.
I'm so and then excited for that too. Yeah.
Because I'm so tired of hearing myself talk. Okay. What's your next one?
My next one, actually, surprisingly, I feel like content creation has got me closer to God a lot more. Like, I didn't even expect, like, I feel like that was the biggest, sorry, that was the biggest pro. And I didn't think it was ever going to happen. And I think it's because, like, again, there's nothing tangible, like, right now for us. So it's like, you have to have I feel like I just say delusion like a lot of times. It's actually faith. Do you know what I mean? You really have to have faith in God and like in your ability. And I'm just like, with praying about it, blah, blah, blah. This summer, I feel like that was like the most transformative summer for me when it comes to like content creation. Because it was just like, I'm going to take a step back. Like, I'm going to do what I can and then just let God do the thingy. And I had... You're going to make me cry. Really? Anyways,
because I'm happy. Because, because you need that. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then it was at the time where I had, like, another TikTok account. It had, like, 13K or 15K, whatever. But it was, like, at least I had the security of that for brand deals and stuff. But I was like, it's not going. It's not growing. Like, I knew that I had to make a new TikTok account. But it was like my ego and like the security.
How did you know?
Because my my TikTok, it's not even shadow banned. My TikTok account wasn't updated, so none of the like the new effects or whatever. So it was just like literally suppressed.
Gotcha. Okay.
And every time I post, it keeps saying ineligible for you page, and it's just like flagging every content down. So I was like, I just have to use my spam as my main now. But my spam only had like 1,000 or 500 something followers, and I was like, okay, I knew I had to delete it, but it was just like. I was just clinging on to the numbers, and I'm like, okay, at this point, I just have to, delete it and then go to my spam. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do my best and then just let God do the rest. With 1,000 followers, I've had, like, more paid deals than 15K. It doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean?
What?
But it's
there's
just
a niche audience, but yeah, like
it's much like I don't know. I just feel like the whole growth so far has been like it made me like have more faith in God. Do you know what I mean?
Which the reason why I was saying I was getting emotional is because that's confirmation that you're on the right track. If it's bringing you closer to Him, then we're on the right track. Because the scripture that I always think about is the woman that bled for 12 years and then touched Jesus' garment and then was healed, and it was her faith that healed her. But I always think, okay, Mila, can you be 12 years in the game? Are you willing to do firsties for 12 years? Same, you don't really see movement, same type of views, and then it pops off. Are you, like, someone I think about is like Theo Von. Do you know Theo Von? He's a comedian. He's like...
I was thinking Theo from Divergent.
Theo Von, he's a comedian. And he's been doing the podcast for 6-7 years. And now he's getting 1 million views every, like easy, 1 million views every. He's getting these crazy guests. And people are like, he just popped up. I'm like, he's been doing it for a very... Sabrina Carpenter, I didn't know. This was like her 6th or 7th album. And now she's finally like, Nonsense, Feather, you know what I mean? And now she's popping off, But like, I always ask myself, like, Mila, how long are you willing to stick with it? Like, where's your faith at? Because it's the people who don't hold on enough, who have the talent but don't want to hold on enough. And I think you could probably agree that just seeing how much our parents grinded, like that's something that I love getting from our Habesha parents is that they grinded when it did not make sense. Like waking up early in the morning to get walk this job that gives them $15 an hour, nothing too crazy because they need to pay what I mean?
Even
like
coming here when they didn't know anyone, that takes faith. Like I can't possibly, even like, let's say I want to move to like, I don't know, another state. I'm over here scared. I'm like, my mom literally came here. She didn't speak English and she still made like life
with children on her back. Like that's
it's so wicked to me. And I'm like over here, like, I'm scared. I speak the same language. It's literally the same thing. I just might be away from my friend group. Imagine how insane that is. But yeah, you're so right. And I saw this one video that said a tree grows down before it like grows up. So like it has to like solidify its roots deep in. So like when you're having a long like growth period or a long time when you're working on your craft more, it's just telling you your fruits is going to be like, you're going to be more fruitful because you're deep in like in the roots. So you're going to like, grow more higher or whatever. So yeah,
that's a really, really good one. Cause
that was the biggest pro for me.
That's probably the biggest one that, is because I could completely agree. It's like just the other day when I was editing the episode that came out the prior week, I just was like editing and I just like kind of felt silly. Cause here's the thing is that I said it before, like when you watch yourself on camera and you're editing, like part of it is like, it's this narcissistic thing. And then part of it is like, babes, there are people that are dying. Like, all the human things. You know what I mean?
There are people that are
I'm
dying,
over here talking about God. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And then I literally said I really just said a prayer.
Yeah.
One, to give me the strength to like continue, but also I'm just hoping that's the right track. Cause in order for us to achieve our dreams, you have to consider him to get there. I don't want anything that God does not have his hand in. Not literally one thing. Not a man, not an opportunity, not the show, nothing. Really. That's not you eating on your first episode.
Ate a little bit.
The last pro that I have, and you'll probably learn more about this too, is your social skills will like, you're just going to see yourself talk. Mm-hmm. I remember when I did like, I think it was like the 4th or 5th episode, I like had Miriam on a couple times. Yeah. And she noticed that she would always say, you know what I mean? Without saying absolutely nothing. Like she'll just be like,
see, that's my
issue. You know what I
mean?
Me and I'm
Miriam,
like, you didn't say anything
there,
right?
You don't say.
Yeah. And then mine, I've known that I say a lot, and I used to say comment down below every couple seconds, like comment down below, comment down below. And then you see, and you just learn how to like conversate more, make eye contact. Yeah. Especially when you put on the headphones when you have a guest, like nothing else matters. You're making eye contact with the guest, and you're really like deeping what they're saying. How many times do we actually do that in day to day? We're on our phones.
So right.
You're
so present in the conversation.
Yeah, and that is like, this might sound corny, but to me, this is the most like human being experience that I can have, and that's why I know I'm where I'm supposed to be.
But I have to give it to you, like me and my friends always even like talk about it. You were like, it gave pro even in your first episode. You're so like the way you talk, it get like, like it's so like.
I watched it the other day and I was like, I hate this episode.
I mean, you're always gonna like, you don't think of like something.
I'm thinking about the quality and stuff,
and everything, but like the way you talk, the way you speak, like you can tell like, oh yeah, she's meant to do this. Do you know what I mean? Because you know how to like lead a conversation and like structure the whole conversation. Everything is just like so insane.
And I'm so glad you're here with me, because then you could also help me out, because when I'm with the guest, I'm making eye contact and I'm trying to listen, but I'm actually producing at the same time. So I'm thinking about what the next. You have
so many things on your plate.
Because I don't want to have a dull. So I'm trying to keep on the editing and stuff like that. So I'm trying to make sure it's not a dull moment. So then you know what I mean? But I'm glad that it's just because of us, because we're just going to be kikiing in our ADHD.
Right. See, that's such a real struggle. Literally, you like, have to think. You're the producer, the production, the whole
lighting,
planner,
like all of it. That's why it's like anytime like looking, I'm making sure they're both recording still. Like we're, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I can't wait the day that we just come, girl,
and just
get in our makeup chairs, get done, come here and be like, girl, what's up? What's tea?
Literally, like, and just talk. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. I'm also really excited to see like how comfortable we get, because I feel like I'm 40 episodes in, you're like 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
That there's some things I've shared on here that like, not to get too deep, because I do think like there's certain things that just are kept for like us, obviously. Yeah. But I'm like, never thought I'd be sharing that. You know what I mean? But it's like you just get comfortable in your own skin, and then you just give less F's. You just really do. You're like, what's the worst that can happen?
And because you're meeting the guest for the first time, you never had to. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know you yet. But now with like, I'm comfortable with you. Look, I was talking about my location of my host when I was my host jobs and my temp jobs. Literally. Because you get so comfy, you forget that there's like a camera.
Yeah, and you can't help but get vulnerable when someone else gets vulnerable.
Exactly.
It's literally like a first date. Like I cannot tell you how many times where when I'm done with a guest, I'm like, they're like, it's like a first date almost. Because like you find like, hey, they're like, so how many siblings do you have or whatever? And then you just like get to know each other.
That's so crazy.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I just love this so much.
Oh my God, I'm so freaking excited. That is it that I have. Anything else that you want to share?
I think that's, let me see. Let me double check. Yeah, I think that's, you could like, this is like a measurable growth. Even you saying like you can go back and see your first episode and you know like what you've changed and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
not everyone could do that.
Yeah, like I love the fact that I can see. I've cringed a lot with my old vlogs, watching my old, and there's a lot that's been privated. But however,
TikToks too.
Yeah, but it's like you can see your growth in so many ways, and I like that part.
Yeah, content creation. It is a digital diary. Like, wow, look how far I've come.
Exactly.
Look at that and how far we're gonna go.
Literally.
With the grace of God, of course.
Love this for us.
Amen to that. That is it for this episode, guys. As always, please make sure you follow Firsties Pod. Do you actually want to do the outro? Do you go to practice?
Yeah. What do you say?
So you can say, I'm keeping all of this in, by the way. Okay. I think we should so they can see it. Follow Firsties Pod everywhere. Like tag what you know the things.
All right, so that's it for today's episode. You can sing it too if you want. Absolutely not.
The way you were like, but absolutely not.
But follow Firsties Pod on every platform and tap in, subscribe, post notifications on. Yeah.
You said, okay, let me try it. Girl, you ate that. You're trying to be humble. I can't.
I love it. Just love it.
That's the first episode, guys. We'll see you next time. Mila and Mela out.